Hello, everybody. I'm here with Markiplier, or Markiplier is his full French name.
That is not true. If I was even remotely French, the German side of me rebels against that.
I thought it'd be interesting to do a little video today about public relationships on YouTube. It's quite a niche video, I will admit, but I think we're both people that have had interesting experiences, and it would be cool to talk about. That's it. Like, we shot a little video on your channel. If it's out by now, there'll be a link in the description. It's definitely not. But when it does come out, there'll be a link in the description. And yeah, like Charlie, my girlfriend, was like, "Oh, you should do a video about this." I was like, "Damn it, you're right."
Sure.
Damn it. How many public relationships have you had? How many of your audience known about?
Oddly enough, like, my relationship with Amy is the only one that I've ever actually not tried to keep secret.
Right.
Because my previous relationship was with a girl named Jessica, and I tried to keep that really under wraps, like really closed off. You know, I had reasons for it. I had reasons in that my YouTube channel wasn't about that. It wasn't about her. It wasn't about my relationship. It was about the videos I'm doing. You know, I don't want to artificially introduce her. I felt like it would be detrimental to do that. But then there comes the thing where you can't exactly hide the fact that you have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
So some people will know, and then it'll get mentioned in a video, and then people think you're keeping a secret for some bullshit reason, and people think that, oh, she's pulling the strings behind him, and then people start going on this weird hunt for more information.
That's such a thing as well, is the more you try to hide from your audience, the more interested they become.
Yeah.
And it becomes like you can really make things something very unsexy by just revealing it.
And that's the thing, like, if they're looking for information, and I'm not really criticizing anyone out there who like wants to know more, of course you do, but if the easily accessible information is conspiracy theories, first and foremost, they're gonna think with that mindset.
Would you say it's been easier having being like kind of open about your relationship and not secretive than when you were secretive?
I would say on the whole, yes. There have been some like negative, but I don't think it is anywhere near as it was when keeping a secret. I mean, Amy can speak for it, of course, more than I can, because again, we're not the ones that really take the brunt of the aggression when it comes to those.
No.
You know, from like the people that, as misguided as they may be, they think it's in our best interest to defend us from this outside force. They're like the immune system of a body attacking foreign things at all costs.
I went very public with a relationship on YouTube, and I did it because I'd learned like a lot from watching other YouTubers like in relationships or not being open about their relationships, and I figured I'll just give it to them and then they won't want any more. And that was fine. And that worked really, really well. But what happened next is the breakup. And that is where it gets really awful.
It does.
Because once you get in there, because like bringing your audience into a relationship is literally like being in a polygamous relationship, I think. You're hopefully not having sex with all of them.
I agree with that statement.
But they are now a part of it. And if you break up with your partner, you have to involve your audience in that breakup, because it will have the exact same thing as trying to keep the relationship secret. Trying to keep the breakup secret is just as toxic.
It was the same situation for me, really. Like both my relationship was secret and the breakup was secret. But in those sense, like when you're doing a medium that relies on your emotions and relies on you being present every day, you can't hide the sadness of something like that. So it went down this road where both in my personal life and then it's spilling onto my channel and my videos, and people knew, and they knew something was up, and then they was like, what's making him sad? Oh, her! And then they'd find, and then there's another witch hunt for no reason. And in reality, I broke up with her, and therefore I should be the one that takes the brunt of the aggression, but it doesn't go to me because I'm the sweet, unshakable being of
floofy
goodness.
Markiplier.
Yeah, I can't be wrong,
No.
Like it's a damn shame, but it comes from like my justification. Like I wanted to keep that personal because it obviously it shouldn't affect anyone else out there. But when you live a life in the public eye, like you can't help it. It's not a want thing, it's an is thing. Like it's gonna be this way no matter what way you look at it.
And when I had to go through a very public breakup as well, what I had to do is I had to release a statement video, which was the worst thing. I hated it. I hated doing it because it was, and I genuinely, and I think I was right, it was the best thing to do because I didn't want it to become a mystery. I didn't want it to become a thing where people were commenting on both our channels. Because for me, I'd be like, fine, because again, I was the one who broke us. So for me, like them being like, oh, what happened between you guys? I don't mind that. I'm like, well, I'm a YouTuber, whatever. But it was her. It was people coming after her that I was actually. So I did this breakup video in her best interests. Like I could have gone either way, but she didn't see it that way at all. Not happy about that. It really made things worse on the personal level. It made the breakup much worse, but I genuinely believe in the long term, it would have made things better.
Like, even though we can base our decisions on, like, public perception and what the majority will think, like, we don't know if it's right or even in our personal lives, like, who knows? We're all a bunch of idiots floating through life. And I mean, that's the weird thing about being a YouTuber, because when we make decisions, like, suddenly we have to worry about what everyone else thinks. And if we say that we don't care what they think, which sometimes, like, I can ignore, but if we say that we don't, then, like, that's also another level of separation between you and your fans. Like, how close are you really? And, like, what does it really mean? And then trust, and, like, people that come to meet me, you know, they come up to me and they thank me genuinely, but also I'm like, I don't know you.
Yeah.
And yet I owe you so much.
It is weird, like, because they are also our boss.
That's true.
And and you do have to treat your audience with such a degree of respect.
Yeah.
Because it's such a pratfall when I see YouTubers being like, yeah, fuck you guys. You stay out of my shit. It's like, they're your literal boss.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I guess really that's the thing about relationships is if you keep them secret, people will pry. But if you let people in, they are in. And it's only okay when it's okay.
Have you ever worked in an office environment?
I have not.
I have, and actually the way you said that the audience is our boss kind of made me realize when you have a relationship inside of a company, you have to disclose to HR and follow certain rules, and then if you break up, you have to again disclose to HR, and then like the boss is like, is this gonna work out between you two? Is this gonna get in the way of the bigger picture here? And so like, it's in a weird way, it is exactly like that.
The audience coming up to you and being like, we're gonna unsubscribe. Don't break up. Unless you get married, in which case that is so fine. Can we please come?
The way that it has happened with Amy, it's so weird to say, the way it's happened. It was just like, it was something where I didn't put any barriers up for like, no, you can't be on camera here. Like, what if people find out? And you know, it's like posting pictures together. And it originally started on her Twitter. We would post pictures there together. And then, you know, over time, it like built and grew as I grew confidence in the relationship myself. You know, because that's another thing. Like, how soon into your relationship are you comfortable with sharing this? Because it's fragile. It's like a baby. You don't want to drop it if this is shock, like a hammer coming down of like 17 million people. Like, you're being judged now. It's like, you don't want to immediately expose that to the sun, or else it's just going to like burst into flames. But I feel like a lot of my fan base has really taken a liking to her more than me. And in their eyes, like, she is more loved than I am, which is fine. I understand that.
That's fine. Yeah.
So is the rest of my team, like most of them.
No, I think people, it does get into a habit with your audience where they will show extra vocal support for the smaller members because they know that they don't get it most of the time. But and you understand it, but like as the creator, even though you get like mostly all of the love, you're still like, but I want it. I want all of it.
That was like when we were doing a tour. We just did 6 shows, and we have this middle section where it's a competition and people vote on who wins. And of the 6 shows we did, I won one of them. Like, just, and I think I performed better than everybody else, but it's just like, I don't know. I'm not too opposed to it, but it's still like, I danced my heart out and I can't win. Like, come on here.
What are some of the worst experiences you've had with having a public relationship?
There haven't really been any that bad. Like, even when it was secret with my last relationship, like, it wasn't that bad. There weren't anything that stood out, like people just constantly witch hunt. The only thing that I feel bad is like one time, like my ex, she started her channel. She started a YouTube channel, and it was completely independent. I'd never like promoted it or anything, but she was getting like unrelenting hate. Like every video flooded with dislikes. Like, and as much as I would tell her to be like, hey, don't mind the hate, like it was like really, really painful to see because she deserved none of it.
What kind of stuff were people saying? Was it about the relationship?
It was just it was about me. Like you were horrible to him. Like that's why he broke up with you. It's like like horrible things like that, and just for no other reason than they wanted to defend me, and that angered me just because I'm like, what are you doing? If you were here, I would punch you in the face. Why?
That's right, everyone. Markiplier. If you're a 12-year-old fan, I will punch you.
I'm not opposed to punching some 12-year-olds. I am all about that. No matter what you do, some people are going to be unhappy for another reason.
Yeah.
If you admit it, they're like, well, why you? And if you don't admit it, well, why? What are you hiding? And if you're like, hey, we don't want to talk about it, it's like, well, I'm unsubscribing. You aren't honest to us. It's like, bullshit.
I guess the thing is, if you are going to let people into a relationship, you have to set these like boundaries, and you have to be super calculated, which is the least romantic thing in the world. Like, you're excited about this new relationship, but you have to be like, you kind of have to sit down your audience like you would sit down your kids if they were getting like a new stepmom.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you're gonna be like, hey guys, so this is your new mom, and you kind of have to like set these boundaries of like, I'm really happy to share this relationship with you, but you can't acknowledge that a relationship could end, but you kind of want to be like, but if it does end, please just accept that, because the worst thing for a breakup is having the opinions of hundreds, if not thousands, and in your case, millions of strangers going, well, here's my opinion. So like, well, I mean, after a couple of years, I put out this like breakup video to be like, I've broken up, please just leave us alone, please be respectful. And then over the course, over a couple of years, I steadily removed all the videos about the relationship to be like, anyone who knew about the relationship now has had the explanation, and now it's just gone.
Admittedly, everyone wants to throw their hand in the pot, but it's like, it sucks for us when we go through a breakup. Just let me grieve in my own way, and my way of grieving was playing the really shitty version of SimCity endlessly on loop, just for like 3 days straight. I was just playing it.
Everything is futile, like this game. Everything breaks.
Yeah, and then I would play it and I'd cry, and I'd play it and I'd cry, and I'd play it and cry and not sleep. Make a video at 6 a.m. to go up at 8. Like, whatever happens, happens. Here we go. And then, but it was my way. My way of handling it.
You have to remember the whole time that these are people. And I think that becomes so easy because they become, I think, even when I'm watching a channel, like, I will start seeing people as characters.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh no, we are people. And when it ends, please, like, how would you like it? However, if you are a YouTuber and you want to let people in your relationship, I think, again, you just want to set those ground rules down. And if it ends, you have to tell people, because that will also be bad, because then they will be like, I need to know the truth. So you have to give them at least some sense of the truth, or just say, I'm not going to talk about this yet. And then it never hurts to also put word filters on your comments.
That's true.
Be like, ex-girlfriend, their name. I mean, I've already got like my address in my word filters.
Wow.
It's my favorite thing. I catch a missing comment that's like, I know where you live. And it's like, you think people see that?
I get it. Like, you want to throw out your opinion there. That's fine. I'm not going to stop you from doing it. But also, like, be honest with yourself about the distance. Like, I am living my life and I make my choices as best I can. And if you're watching me, you have some semblance of trust that I maybe know what I'm doing, like, half the time. And I may just be as clueless as anybody else. But I think, like, there's trust in any relationship. There's trust in the relationship that I have with my girlfriend. There's trust in friendships. There's trust placed in subscribers. There's trust in viewership. So just trust that the person that you're watching isn't a complete fool.
And also, I guess the kind of hard truth to accept is we kind of have to lie to you as well, a little bit. Like, we will have to control the flow of information, because we will not give you the whole breakdown of the reason why the relationship ended or anything. We will just be like, we'll probably say some passing line like, like, there was a lot of conflict.
Yeah.
We both decided that it would be best to move on, or something like that. And I think you just have to accept that, and it sucks, but it does not help anyone to go on this like media paparazzi frenzy stalk fest that happens so often, and it's horrifying, because you'll find people get run off the entire platform.
Yeah.
And that is the worst.
I think we can all agree that complete silence isn't the best policy, but, complete openness is also not the best policy.
Unless you are in porn.
True.
Yeah, then you can just...
Vlogger.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Daily vlogger.
A daily porn vlogger.
Why doesn't that genre exist?
I believe there actually is one on
Really?
YouTube. Yeah.
No way.
It's it's a complete segue, but there was this like this porn star that I knew of, and then like I was watching the Philip DeFranco show, and he like shouted, he was like, "Hey, check out this YouTuber," and I was like, and then like the next show he was like, "Oh my god!" So I didn't realize this girl had two things she did, and I didn't realize she had a YouTube channel. So basically, I think that's the best way to be on YouTube. So full open honesty.
Sure. The best way to be on YouTube, according to TomSka, is a porn vlogger.
So what we're taking away from this video is be a porn vlogger and punch 12-year-olds.
Yeah, I'm all board.
Well, thank you for doing this stupid video with me. I just thought it'd be fun to rap about relationships a little bit. And just, yeah, I just want to be around you, honestly. It's just really nice.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Go check out Markiplier. You probably haven't heard of him. He... God damn it.
Yay!
TomSka out.